Hi everyone, it's Phil here from Ashland Leather. I wanted to give you a look at some of the wallets we're shipping out today. Let me give you a preview of some of the items in the video. We're going to start off with a bunch of our minimalist card holders, and we have a lot of Johnny the Foxes going out today. We'll show you two different Tony the Ants, three Bugs Moran, a bunch of Capone money clips, and 4-shell Cordovan Fat Herbies. Let's start off first here with the one-shot card case. We've been making a lot of these recently, and I try to do these in special colors and leathers that we don't often see, because I think it's a good opportunity and a good way for people to experience some different types of leathers, different colors for themselves in person. We try to make these as inexpensive as we can, and that's what this first one is here. It's a special piece of ultraviolet shell cordovan, but this is actually a marbled piece. We are calling this mottled ultraviolet, and that's because you can see the color here. It does have a little bit of modeling going on, a little bit of highs and lows in colors, but not as dramatic as the marbled shell cordovan. And here's another piece, one-shot card case in color 8 reverse shell cordovan. You can see the reverse side of the color 8 is this orangey tan sort of shade, or the inside here, the part that is flipped around, that's the traditional color 8 shell cordovan color, more of a dark brown burgundy. The reverse side of the color 8 and black shell cordovan we like to cut and show off a lot because it gives us an opportunity to show off the really interesting Horween ink stamp, as well as some random dye marks and coloration. And just recently we announced the second iteration of our shots, we can call them. So we had the one shot, this is called the two shot, and the reason we call this the two shot is because we actually have two card slots on this piece. It's kind of similar to the Frank the Enforcer here, which we'll get to in a minute, but the two-shot card case has one larger slot in the front here, as well as one larger slot in the back. This does not have a thumb notch in it. You can fit cash folded into thirds in here. If you fold it in half, which is what I like to do, it sticks out just a tiny bit to give you a little bit of access to it. But we figured that the two-shot card case is sort of a great pandemic wallet because you're not going out with tons of cards and cash. In fact, most places around here in Chicago at least won't even take cash. So this is a great one to use in your front pocket. I've been wearing this one myself for the last month or so, and I've been really enjoying it. The first one here, this is in dark brown Dublin leather with a really interesting contrasting rust stitch. I think that looks great. And here's the best seller of the two shots so far. This is the English Tan Dublin. This happens to be cut from a bison side, so you get a little bit more striations, a little bit more character in the leather. I just can't offer the bison Dublin on a consistent basis, which is why we included it in the two shots. Give you another chance to try out some new stuff. Speaking of new stuff, this is relatively new. This is the raw shell cordovan in the natural color from Horween. So you can see the raw shell cordovan starts off very light. In fact, this is about the lightest you'll ever see a piece of shell cordovan. And it's also very dull. It sort of has a matte finish. But when you wear this, it starts to develop layers of luster and the color turns a little bit more golden. It's very interesting to see the transformation that happens on here. This is, I was noticing as I was tilting it here, you can see the color shift that happens even in the raw shell. So you can see this piece here is a little bit darker at this angle, and when I angle it this way, it's a little bit more golden and light. And here's another really neat two-shot card case. This one's in the black reverse shell cordovan, and I was mentioning how much we like to see all the random dye marks, and this one is an exceptional piece. All the randomization right there I think is really neat. I'll give you a look at the Horween ink stamp on the back. And to round out our minimalist styles here that we're shipping out today, this is my favorite shell cordovan color. Take a look at that. Beautiful piece of amaretto shell cordovan. We were looking at the color shift a moment ago. This one has an exceptional color shift. So this angle, very vibrant, very vivid and orange, and when I angle it this way, you can see it starts to turn a little bit more caramel, a little bit more red, a little bit more brown. I really love the amaretto shell cordovan for that reason. This one has been personalized for JAB. Thank you so much, JAB. I can't wait for you to have this guy. And here's another really neat piece with some unique character to it. This is a black marbled shell cordovan piece, and you can see the black marbled ranges from sort of this dark forest green all the way down to a light orangey tan, and all the colors in between. I think that's really great. On the back here, this one has been personalized for Dom. You got a great wallet coming your way. And let's move on to the Johnny the Fox. This is our most popular wallet style right now. And this first one here is in black Dublin. I think people like this style because it's very relatable. It's very much a traditional look where you have these three card slots on each side, two hidden card slots under each stack of those three. And then you have a bill slot in the back. So it's just a wallet that most people think of when they think of a wallet. And on the black Dublin, that's a really nice leather. I love all the grain character in every Dublin color, but the black is really special to me because you don't often see many black leathers with any character at all. Usually they're just very heavily finished and painted. And speaking of Dublin, here is another Dublin color. This one happens to be my favorite. This is the English tan Dublin. Sort of reminds me of the Amaretto Shell Cordovan, that nice orangey tan, sort of a subtle brown with a nice bit of vibrance to it. And of course, that incredible grain character on the Dublin. These are special because we have 100% English tan on them. So we have English tan on the outside, English tan on the inside. And I just love how these wear in. I wore one of these for 100 days and really enjoyed it. This one has been personalized for JLB. Thank you so much, JLB. And here's another 100% wallet. This is a 100% Chrome Excel in the natural color. So you can see that nice taupey shade of the natural Chrome Excel. And you might observe that the grain character is significantly different on the Chrome Excel when you compare it to the Dublin. And that's because the Chrome Excel is very heavily polished. So we fill in the grain with a nice bit of polishing, and it's very smooth and has that nice subtle sheen to it. Not as much texture as the Dublin. And on the inside here, this is another nice piece of natural Chrome Excel on the inside. This is also relatively new for us. We've just started moving to try to make everything with the matching insides and outsides on the Johnny of the Fox, and I have 3 more Johnny of the Foxes to show you. This one is a natural shell cordovan with a great personalization on it. Hopefully I don't spoil this for a gift, but on the inside here we have a reverse color 8 interior, and I love the way that the natural shell on the outside pairs with this color 8 reverse on the inside. We've got several of these right now, and most of them are coming out really well, just like this, with all this random character, all the random dye marks on the inside of this wallet. I think that's really special. And here's another 100% wallet. This is a special private stock item. I think we sold all of these over the weekend. This is 100% natural shell cordovan. And these are really special. We actually were able to twist Skip Porween's arm to get them to make us some specifically thin pieces of shell for the inside of this wallet. I don't know if and when I'll be able to do it again, but we're trying to work more towards a world where we're able to do thin pieces of leather for the insides of the Johnny of the Fox. So this is a really special piece of 100% natural shell cordovan. I'm staring at it myself because I've not been able to see this very frequently. And you might want to know why we're not able to use regular shell cordovan pieces for the insides of the Johnny of the Fox. And I'll give you an idea here of why that is the case. So look at the thickness here of this Johnny the Fox. This is about perfect. This is where you need it to be. And we're not able to get all pieces of shell cordovan the same thickness. In fact, even from shell to shell, each shell is different, but in the shells themselves, one shell, you might see a range of thickness of up to 2 or 3 millimeters even. So we need to pick specifically thin pieces of leather for the inside of this wallet. Otherwise, it just really chunks up. It becomes too hard to load up and just way too thick. So we have to pick naturally thin pieces of leather. Additionally, because we don't like to thin down the leather. We notice that most wallets fail wherever the leather has been thinned down and perhaps turned around an edge and stitched down and glued down. Those pieces of leather that have been thinned lose a lot of tensile strength. So we try to avoid that everywhere possible. And this is a 100% denim blue shell cordovan Johnny the Fox. We're only able to make a couple of these, still trying to get some more thin shells from Horween, so we're able to offer this more frequently. But right now, this piece is a special private stock item. We've also hand stained all the edges to match that denim blue shell. And let's move on to some Bugs Moran here. This is the black shell cordovan Bugs Moran. I love the sleek look of the black shell, and the Bugs Moran is a minimalist card holder. It's a perfect form factor to hold in your hand, but it's also really great as a front pocket wallet. I've been digging the black recently because it just has such a sleek, nice look to it. It sort of looks futuristic to me when I look at it like this. And here's another, this is a really rare color. This is the ultraviolet shell cordovan. It's sort of like a darker pink magenta. Some angles more of those red tones appear, and other angles more of the vibrant sort of purple shades appear. I think it's a really unique piece. You might be able to see it right here. That's about as light as you'll see it get on this card holder. And here is a Bugs Moran in the classic color 8 shell cordovan, the dark brown burgundy shade. It's really nice, and I think this has become synonymous with shell cordovan because it is so nice. It actually goes with everything. So if you have a pair of shoes in the Color 8 shell. It will match with a black belt, it will match with a brown belt, match with a burgundy belt. So this is a really nice Bugs Moran, personalized for JIP. And similar to the Bugs Moran, this is the Tony the Ant, also in the classic Color 8 shell cordovan. The big difference here is that the Tony the Ant has an additional bill slot on the exterior here with a nice little thumb notch. So people buy this one because they like the aesthetic of a Fat Herbie, but they wanted it in a little bit more of a compact form factor, and that's what the Tony the Ant is all about. So in addition to that, between the Tony the Ant and the Bugs, the Tony is slightly wider. So look at the center section here. This is a bit wider than on the Bugs Moran. We did that because we wanted the Bugs Moran just to be as compact as possible for a front pocket wallet. And the last Tony the Ant to show you today, this is the natural Chrome Excel Tony the Ant with that really smooth and polished grain. You might also be able to see just how rich this feels, and I wish you could feel this for yourself. It's really waxy, really oily and greasy. It's just super dense and full of oils. It feels great. On the inside here, let me give you a look at that. We finish off the unintended reverse sides of the Chrome Excel with a little bit of resin to sort of smooth it down, make it look a little bit more finished. And let me show you some of our brand new Capone money clips. These are becoming pretty popular for us. This first one here is an English tan Dublin, has been personalized for LC. I've actually been wearing this same exact piece for the last few months. Been really enjoying this one, as well as the two shot. I'm actually carrying both of them right now, but I love the color of this English tan Dublin. I find the ease of use on this to be really nice because you can just grab your cards from the exterior of the wallet. And here's another Dublin piece on the Capone money clip. Also, I should mention that this money clip, this will hold dollars, just a single dollar. This clip is strong enough just to hold one single bill in place. So if you're finding that yours is not holding it snugly, there's probably something wrong with it, and I'd love to fix that for you. But this, again, the black Dublin, incredible grain character. You don't really see this often on many black leathers. And here's another classic Color 8 shell cordovan, but on the money clip. It's looking really nice with the Horween ink stamp. We try to cut the ink stamp into the center of this so you get a nice look at that. A lot of people request the ink stamp specifically from us. This one has been personalized for PM. Thank you so much, PM. And here is another Color 8 piece, but this is reverse Color 8. So we have reverse Color 8 on top of Color 8 shell in the center there. I'll give you a look at the inside. We have more reverse shell cordovan here. Love all the random die marks, the Horween ink stamp. This is a really interesting piece. And the last one to show you, this is black shell cordovan, the other classic color. I like that sleek modern look. Really bright, shiny, mirror-like luster on this shell. And we have a few Fat Herbie shipping out today. Check out this piece. This is Color 8 all reverse shell cordovan on the Fat Herbie. I love the extra large context that you get to see on the Herbie, which is why I like to open these up this way. Just all the random die marks on this are super cool, especially the Horween ink stamp is also very interesting. Take a look here. All those die marks are really special. This is one of the nicer and more interesting looking pieces of Color 8 reverse on the left there. Here's a black double reverse Fat Herbie. And you might wonder what double reverse means. It's just sort of the best way I could come to describe what we're doing here. So if you see black shell and reverse shell on the outside, as well as black shell and reverse shell on the inside, that's why we call it double reverse. Originally, we would just make a black shell on the outside and flip the interior around. We would call that a reverse interior. And then we had some people that wanted us to flip both of them backwards. And that's how we came up with this look. It still holds a special place in my heart. We've been making this version of the Fat Herbie for many years, and I really like that look. I'll give you one more look at the inside. Now, I was mentioning the regular reverse. So this is Color 8 shell on the outside with a reverse interior. And if we were to flip this piece around and show the shell side in the center, that would make it double reverse. And we'd see the reverse side here. Love the look of this huge piece of Color 8 shell. It's a really beautiful color. And of course, great luster, look and feel. And on the inside with all the random die, the Horween ink stamp, that's really special. And the last one here, last but not least, is a marbled black shell cordovan Fat Herbie. On the marbled black, we do see that color range from a little bit of orangey tan down to a forest green and all the colors in between. Really like the marbled shells. They're totally unique, and I think it's basically perfect for a wallet. It really individualizes it for you. So let me try to figure out what my stoner of the day is. I'm gonna have to go back to this 100% denim blue shell Johnny the Fox, and I've only seen a couple of these in my life, and I'm hoping to see more. I just love all the blue on this, and the blue edges I think are really special as well. We actually hand stain all these and burnish them. And I think the result is just really clean and special, especially on the Johnny the Fox like this one. So thanks for checking it out. If you have any questions, let me know. And until next time, have a good one.